When you go through life and you had things that happen to you like betrayal, you're traumatized with like feelings of hurt, you really have to stop and identify those feelings and where those feelings came from when you first felt those feelings. And I had to take myself all the way back to, Rachel, why do you feel the need to people please? I figured it out why. Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to Femininity by Rachel V. I am your host, Rachel V. I'm super excited to be here. I know it's been a really long time since I've recorded, and I am going to explain why it took me such a long time to start recording again. But I am very, very happy to be back in the recording podcast space. This podcast means so much to me. The fact that I've helped so many women in such a short time, it also has helped me in my journey to healing. Because let's face it, healing is not a race. Healing is something that you take your time to do. It's something that you take your time to relearn some things and like really just do some things differently. Give yourself the grace to do things differently. Learn from your mistakes, learn from past relationships, learn your boundaries, learn what's not okay, what is okay in your life for you. I was talking to a friend of mine and she asked me, why did it take me so long to come back and record? Because I was telling her I have not recorded since January. So we are in August, so that's 8 months. It took me 8 months to come back. And I simply said to her in the most humbling way, I just didn't have anything to give at that time. And sometimes when you don't have anything to give, you don't want to lie to yourself and push yourself and overextend yourself like you do. And I just realized that I needed to work on a lot of things in my business. I needed to work on a lot of things in my home life. I needed to work on a lot of things financially, even with like the divorce of my ex and that relationship. I had to do a lot of work. And like I said, healing isn't a race. It takes a really, really long time depending on how much you need to heal. And I'll be the first to say, I actually needed a lot of healing. My nervous system was a wreck. And if you guys don't know, that is extremely important into your day to day. I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating. And even though I had made the steps of, leaving a marriage and moving out of town, all of these things helped, but they were just a tipping point of my healing. And I had to really identify with myself. Why are you in this position? What are you doing? And the one thing that I can say that I did and I recognized in myself was I am a natural nurturer. Like that is in me. Like I want to nurture. But along with that, it can come out to be a little bit more people pleasing. That is my weakness. And I really needed to work on that. And why that was so important is because it was really hurting me in my business. Like really hurting me in my business. Like I didn't want to step on anyone's toes. I was super fragile because of what I've been through the last couple of years in my marriage. And I just didn't want to piss people off. And I don't even know why, because I'm not even like that. Like I'm pretty aggressive when it comes to business, but I didn't realize that I was so broken down that I was just letting anything go on, anything happen. And that was one thing that I needed to, work on. The other thing that I needed to work on was I needed to really, 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 really think about my boundaries, the things that I was very uncomfortable with, just dealing with people. And I needed to work on like my time, like how I allocated time for certain things. So that's pretty much why I had to let the podcast go. I had started working on the clothing line for Femininity. Well, not let it go, but I had to put it down for a second. I was working on Femininity. I was working on monetizing that, and that was doing extremely well. It's still doing extremely well. Shout out to everyone who has supported me through this last couple of months with Femininity. We have a new line and a new collection of things coming out. I cannot wait for you guys to see all of the new goodies. But again, if you are new to the space, please like and subscribe. I love to help people. I am a natural healer. My energy is so vibey. I'm going to tell you that. But if you're new to this channel, I'm almost certain that you will love the raw, authentic energy that I give to my viewers, my listeners, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for waiting for me. Let's jump right in. Okay. So the first thing, I worked on my business. I have been a salon owner for, I want to say, October. This October will make me be in business for 18 years. Sorry, ladies, I have a little cold. This will make my 18th year with me being in business, and I desperately wanted a change in my business. So I decided to change the business model. And I was a little nervous about changing my business model because I had operated the same way for 18 years, but I noticed the last 5-6 years, it just wasn't working. I noticed that I was different as a person. I wasn't as sociable in my business because I wanted to have things separate. I wanted things to be in a certain certain like box. Like I wanted my relationship with my coworkers to be my relationship with my coworkers. Outside of that, I didn't want to have a relationship. And that's kind of hard for people sometimes when they come to work in your space. They want to be close to you. They want to know the ins and outs of you. And I just really didn't want that because I felt like in the past, what I noticed that people, they only want to be around you to soak up all the things that you know how, and then they either use it against you or they basically mirror everything that you do. So that was pretty hard for me, admitting that I did not want a relationship outside of work with my coworkers. A lot of them were really different from me. I felt a lot of different things from the people that work for me. And I just wanted to set a boundary there that these are my coworkers. We don't need to have a relationship, a private relationship outside of the business. Once I realized that, I decided that it was time for me to change the business model. I moved to Miami, so I decided to work part-time because I wanted to be a full-time mom. My son is in sports. He goes to a really good school. And unlike the time when I raised my daughter, I was really young. I was in my 20s. I was working a lot. I had people picking her up. Well, not people, but I had family members picking her up from school and, taking her places, making her lunch. So I missed out on a lot of my moments, and I didn't want to miss out on those mom moments with my son. So it was a huge sacrifice for me to downgrade my income because I'm used to making a certain amount of money, and but that was a big step for me because I really, really wanted to have certain experiences with my son. Taking him to school every morning. I just took my daughter to school every morning, but just being on time to pick him up from school, being able to take him to his activities, making sure that he eats a certain snack when he gets out of school. Those little small things were so important to me as a mother that I had to sacrifice and just say, you know what, I am going to work every other week instead of working every day. I mean, the hours that I was pulling in, if anybody knows, I'm sure that someone may know a friend of a friend of a friend that may be in the cosmetology field or in the beauty field where we put in a lot of hours to service our clients, and it can take over you. And I felt like it was taking over me. I would go in at 9, I wouldn't get off until 10, and this was every single day. And I just didn't want to be a boy mom having that type of schedule. So me moving to Florida, I definitely cut back on my hours and the time that I was putting in at work. But that also made my business suffer because my end, I was looking at it like, okay, these women are independent women, guys, whoever was working there, these women are independent, they're booth rental, they can handle their own, they can do their own. But really, it was a lot of shit talk. And I'm just going to be honest with you. It was a lot of shit talk. I'm here in Miami. It's look like I'm living my life. I'm doing my thing. And I really was. I was enjoying myself. I was having a good time, waking up to the sunshine every day and this and that. People will see you on Instagram and they start comparing, they start, putting in that jealous energy and all of that stuff. I'm just going to tell you like this. Bad vibe scares the money away. And that's exactly what was happening. It was like little vindictive things that was happening, things that I would hear. It wasn't a team effort. And how can I had to say to myself, how can I operate a business like this? The foundation has to change. The business model has to change. You have to change. And you know that you no longer like working side by side people that don't align with you, don't have the same goals as you, don't live the same lifestyle as you. So they're not going to understand the way you want to run your business. So I just had to really, be honest with myself and say, how is this working? And it no longer was working for me. It wasn't feeding me. It wasn't feeding my soul. I was putting out more money than was coming in. And I just decided I'm shutting it down. So that's what I did. I took a couple of months. I took from November of 2022 to February of 2022. And I decided to, change my business model, which included me letting all of the stylists that were remaining there to go. I had to let them go. And I swear it was like the best decision that I've made 2023. One of the steps to, the best decision because I wasn't sleeping. I was miserable. I'm sure that they were miserable too, because, when you're not being aware of what you're doing, you're going to be miserable. And you're going to bring out, that type of energy also. So I wanted to debt that. I wanted to let that go. So now I'm a solution-based person. So I like to come up with solutions. Now I am the only stylist that's in there. I share the space with a beautiful boutique owner. Her name is Natalie Graham. She took over the front portion of the space. And, we just used a lot of the furniture, a lot of pieces that were already in the salon, and she made it into a beautiful boutique that me and her share together. And also Femininity is placed inside of the boutique, so you ladies can come to the business and pick up an item. So that completely worked out. I was super, super excited about it. I was happy that all of those pieces fell right into place where they needed to be. So I needed to go through all of those things to really move forward in my life and my business, and to just make me happy, because where you spend most of your time, you got to be happy. My home life was great, but the business wasn't so much. And I just felt like I was pleasing other people, but they wasn't pleasing me. I mean, I'm sure that they will have their own perspective on things, and that's fine, but this is my truth and my story. Then, I had, some things that, went on with my ex. Some things can just, take over you. And I had to realize I wanted so desperately to have a healthy co-parenting life with my ex. But when someone still wants to be in your space and they still want to control the narrative and they still want to, have things the way they want to have, and they don't want to work on anything, it's not going to be that. And, it's sad to say, we're never going to have that. And it's okay. And I had to, I had to be real with myself and say, this is not someone that I need to interact with at all. So that took me a couple of months, and I am like an energy person. If my energy isn't right, I do this thing where I shut down. So I've been really, really working on that I don't want to shut down. I want to be present every single day of my life. Why not just eliminate things that I know for a fact that are not healthy for me? If you know a person is going to take you to a certain point, just get rid of them. I hate to say it like that, because people aren't disposable, but you just can't have any access to me if you're conducting yourself in a negative way that's not helping the growth of my healing. And some people have no self-awareness. Self-awareness is so important when it comes to healing. It's like crucial. When you're self-aware of the things that you do and you're self-aware of the things that you say, you're self-aware of the energy that you're putting out, I guarantee you can be a much better person, much more healed person. And I have to be honest, right now, my energy is top motherfucking tier. My energy is such an upgrade that anybody that's going to be in my presence from right now and moving forward, you have to be aligned. You have to be matching my energy. And I give sometimes I'll do things you may give a little pass. I don't do that anymore. If we're not aligned in that moment, we're just not aligned in that moment. Let's try later on. Let's try to figure it out later on. But right now my energy is such top tier that you need to be giving me top tier. I love reciprocity. It's like a give, take. And if that does not happen, I cannot. So I want to give you guys some points or some tips on what you can do. Like I said, healing is not a race. It takes a lot of time. One of the things I notice about myself is my body has to feel really, really good. So I worked on my routine. Every day I wake up at 6 and drop my school. I make him something to eat for breakfast. Me and him have a good talk on the way to school. I say a prayer for him. God, please watch over my son while he's in school. Make sure that he has an amazing day. I know that every day is not going to be a good day, but when he doesn't have a good day, give him the tools to navigate himself to a good day. So we do that. And then I drop him off. I'm on my way to the gym. I have lost about 15 pounds. I am overly excited. I'm going to get up and show you guys so you guys can see. But I literally right now, I am wearing a pair of jeans that I have not had on for 7 years. When I say I'm super excited, I'm super, girlfriend, pat on the back, girlfriend, because you did that. I'm so happy. Being a regular, making that my regular routine every single day. I work out every single day that I'm in Miami. I don't work out when I'm in Baltimore because I just don't have the time and I don't have a gym. It's just focused on work. But when I'm in Miami, I make sure I work out every single day. And ladies, when I say it helps with everything, it helps with your self-esteem. It helps with your confidence. It helps with your energy. It helps with your stress. It really, really helps. I run and then I have a schedule of when I do my back, I have my back day, I have my arm day, I have my leg day, then I have my cardio. Well, I do cardio every day, but I have a day where I just do cardio, and it really, really does help. I have seen so much of a difference. I am so happy that I am back to me. I see when I look in the mirror, I'm like, there she is. Where have you been all of this time? So that has really, 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 really helped with my healing journey. Just having a routine and doing the same things that make you happy, incorporating different things that make you happy, it really does help. My girlfriend, she introduced me to acupuncture, and I went one time, I want to say a month ago, but that's something that I'm going to be making sure that I incorporate in my routine because it really does help regulate your nervous system. And when I talk about nervous system, I didn't even realize a couple of years ago that my nervous system plays such a heavy part in my day to day. Your nervous system, when it's off, you can be stressed, you can be not sleeping, you can be not eating, your face can be breaking out. I mean, it could be a lot. You can be snappy, you won't have as much patience, and you would not even realize it. So I would say I handle a lot of things much calmly. I pick up on things a lot faster. My intuition is on point. because my nervous system is regulated. And I'm so happy about that. What else I do? I go to the beach. I make sure I pray. I ask for all of my blessings. I'm pretty intentional when it comes to things like that. So I have to make sure that I do that. I'm not eating any junk food. I'm not drinking. I drink occasionally, just like if I go out to dinner with my girlfriends or something like that. But even that, you guys know, I don't necessarily go out to eat all the time. I'm cooking a lot of my foods at home, pretty clean, all of that. I'm keeping up with my skincare. My face is popping. I'm excited about that. I'm making sure I, exfoliate and tone and wear SPF outside and, just things, that you can do to make yourself feel better. Another thing I do is I talk to a friend of mine. She's a healer. She's not like a counselor, but she's a healer. I check in with her once a month. She asks me how I'm doing. She tells me a couple things that I can do to cleanse my energy. Things like that really does help me, because when you go through life and you had things that happen to you like betrayal, you're traumatized with feelings of hurt. You really have to stop and identify those feelings and where those feelings came from when you first felt those feelings. And I had to take myself all the way back to, Rachel, why do you feel the need to people please? Why? I figured it out why. The reason why I was such a people pleaser is because I wanted to feel like I wanted to dumb myself down. And I hate to say it, but that's probably what it was. I felt like I had to dumb myself down for me to be accepted by people. Because when I was younger, I always used to get into fights. I always had to defend myself. I always had to not be so confident, because I'm naturally a confident person. I'm naturally a girly girl. I'm naturally a feminine woman. I am one of them people that you're not going to understand. It's either you're going to really like me, you're going to really love me, or you're going to hate me because you don't understand. And it's not my job at this point in my life to make anybody understand me. I'm not trying to make anybody understand me. It is what it is. You get what you get. If you don't understand it, I am not for you and you're not for me. But one thing I'm not going to do is dumb myself down for anybody. I want to please the people in my life. I want to make the people in my life happy, but we have to be aligned. It's not going to be, I'm just giving, and you're taking. That is not going to work in any relationship that I have, whether it be business, whether it be personal, whether it be family, whether it be friends. It is not going to work. Even with my kids, it is not going to work. It has to be equal. And, that's where I'm at with it. So again, energy is very, very important to me right now. I am not going to dumb myself down for anybody. And that's where that people pleasing part came. I've been that way since I was a little girl. I remember when I was in high school, me and my sister, we were really talented. We were just different kids. And I just remember being picked on by people. We just couldn't understand that. And that's where I picked up that dumbed down type of vibe. And I'm just not doing that. It's just no way. So I have a couple of announcements that I want to go over, because I don't want to make this podcast too long. This is just the first welcome back, Rachel. That's what we're going to say. So welcome back, Rachel kind of thing. Let me see if this is right. There we go. Welcome back, Rachel. Welcome back. So first, I just want to say we are revamping the Femininity by Rachel V website. We have so many things on sale. Everything I think on a website that we have in inventory is $29. So if you guys have not had the chance to check out the website, or if you haven't had a chance to get a piece of Femininity, everything is on sale for $29 right now. The sale will be going on until we sell out of everything. I think that we are selling out a lot of inventory right now. So if you haven't gotten it, just go to www.Femininity by RachelV.com. you will be able to pick up something that you like. I'm sure we have something that you will like. The second announcements, I know you ladies have been asking me about the affirmations. I have not figured out an alternative for the affirmations. Those affirmations was costing me dearly. So I'm sorry we had to abruptly end it, but it just wasn't feasible. It wasn't working for what we needed to do. It just wasn't helping. So I'm sorry. We haven't figured out an alternative for that portion of femininity yet, but we are still indeed working on it. We will have a weekly upload. I think we're going to every Sunday. I think I got to go back and talk to the team and find out when we're going to be, uploading the podcast. But I just want to say thank you because you guys have been reaching out to me. Like, I really like the podcast. I went all the way up to podcast. I can't remember what I left off of. And will you have more? Will it be more? But yes, we definitely will I definitely will be consistent now because I do have a lot to give. My energy is popping right now. Like I said, it's top tier. And, I just can't wait to speak to you guys soon. But I want to say thank you for listening. I'll talk to you ladies soon. And I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with a friend of a friend of a friend. And I'll talk to you guys later.